If you're a Christian entrepreneur, then stop everything and listen to this. You really need to hear this.
There's this phenomena in economics called the Matthew Principle, by the way, and the Matthew Principle is, to those who have everything, more will be given. And from those who have nothing, everything will be taken. And this is a reflection of a phenomenon called the Pareto distribution. And the Pareto distribution works like this. Progress is not linear. It's geometric or exponential. Once you start accruing money, the probability that you'll accrue more starts to increase. This is why a very small percentage of the people have all the money. If you have $1 million, it's hard to make. If you have no money, it's hard to make $1. If you have $1 million, it's a lot easier to make the next million than it is to make the first million. And that continues. If you have 400 million, it's a lot easier to make $1 billion, etc. This is true, by the way, for every domain of accomplishment. Once you've recorded one album, it's much easier to record the next than it was to record the first. And the third is even easier than the second. Success builds upon itself. And so what that means, and this is a good thing to know, as I said before, even if you have to start slow, that doesn't mean you're doomed to slow. And even if you have to take a job that's beneath you, which is not a good way of conceptualizing it out, by the way, if it's actually matched to your talents, you should be grateful for it. If you do a stellar job at that job, the probability that someone will notice and push you along is extremely high.
Wow, this is really powerful. And I hope you got the understanding that progress is not linear, it's exponential. Most of the times, usually as Christian entrepreneurs, we get discouraged, especially when we are at the humble beginnings. The times when it's tough to make the first $10,000, the first time to make the first $50,000. It gets tough because it feels like we are taking this boulder up a hill. God has given you this vision concerning your business. He's speaking a lot concerning that business. He's showing you dreams, prophecies are coming, but then things aren't happening physically. One thing I came to understand, especially with my own journey as an entrepreneur, is that in as much as the Lord has spoken the vision to you, there is still a process where you are being built to be the person who can build that vision. And in that process, there is a lot that happens to you, especially internally, where you're growing in knowledge, you're growing in understanding, you're growing in wisdom, which takes you to a place when you have the necessary understanding, knowledge and wisdom, that you are able to replicate that anytime, any day, anywhere. And I believe that is what makes those who make a lot of money be able to go anywhere and still make that money anyways. Because you can take the money away from them, but you can't take the knowledge, the understanding, and the wisdom that they have accrued